Let's go over a few of the things that you're going to need if you're going to be chaining up. You're going to want an old raincoat, something you don't mind if it gets wet and muddy. You want your safety vest, some kind of safety gear. You're going to be doing this on the side of the highway, freeway, chain up areas. There's a lot of trucks and cars going by. You want to be safe. You're going to want a nice pair of warm, dry gloves. Keep your hands protected as you're reaching down underneath the tire and the snow and the slush, putting these things together. Obviously, you're going to need a set of chains or cables, depending on what you're going to use. If you're using cables with cam tighteners, you're going to want a cam tightener tool. You'll see them either in a T shape or just this bent bar. You're also going to want a couple of bungee cords, probably 2 per tire as a minimum, to act as chain adjusters. After you get them chained up, you get rolling down the road, it just kind of keeps them in the right place, keeps them a little tighter. Now to go over the different parts of the chain, there's a couple different parts you want to get to know. There's the rails, the inside, the outside rails. There's your cross chains, and there's your dogs or your connectors. On both ends, there's the outside connector, which is used for connecting to the other side of your outside rail, and there's your inside connector, which connects to the inside of your rail. Now the connector ends are fairly straightforward in how they work. Your inside connector simply will hook onto that link. If you've got a little more slack in that inside chain when you get it on there, you might go to link a little further up. Your outside connector, again, is very straightforward. When we get it on the tire, you'll see a little better how it works. But it just goes in through one of the links, folds back, and right here there's another little extra link here that just locks that in place. And that's basically the way that one works. Now I want to talk about the dog claws a little bit. Dog claws here, these are your dogs, cross links, your chain rails. Dogs connect your cross links to your chain rail. They got a flat side, which is the side you want up against your tire. And then they've got the side with the claws on them. Always have these facing out away from your tire. You don't want these rubbing up against the side of your sidewall while you're driving. Sometimes they can do some damage. Or if in the case where the link ever breaks, those things will spread out and will actually dig into the side of your tire and do some real damage, and then you've got to replace your tire. Now I've intentionally laid this chain out for you backwards so that you can see how you have to kind of properly orient it and understand front to back, inside to outside. If I were to put this up over this tire right now, my connectors and my cam tighteners would be on the inside of the tire where I wouldn't be able to get to them. If I just picked it up and put it over the top of the tire like this, what's going to happen is my dog claws are going to be rubbing up against the tire. So I actually need to reverse the chains around so that there's actually going to be a front and back to each one, and that's what you have to think about when you're out there setting it up on the side of the road. Now I've got this turned around. I've got my dog claws facing out. I've got my cam tighteners on the outside, and I've got my connector, outside connector on the outside of the tire. So this will lift right on the tire and we'll get it adjusted. Put it right up next to the tire, lift it right up over. Just go right on. We just want to adjust out here. Let's make sure our dog claws are facing out. The cams are on the outside. We don't have any twisted links laying over the top. Just gonna pull this out straight. make sure you're lined up with the center of the dualies on your inside chain rail so that when you pull forward, you don't end up pulling over the top of that. And then you got to move the truck again to get it. This is straight. Roll right up over the top of the tire real nice. We're going to pull the truck forward about 3 feet. Now, as you can see, I've got a little bit of slack right down in here. I just want to work that up over the top. Don't try pulling these because it's kind of a losing battle. Take the inside and outside rail. Just kind of work them back and forth. And then I'll pull that slack right around for you. This is nice. Our dog claws are facing out. We got all the twists out of the chain. So now we're ready to make the connection. Now we start by connecting your inside first. That's fairly simple. Try and do it so you can see it. Just bring that top link up and connect it. Now if you can get to a second link, it makes it that much tighter, and that's even better. Now let's take our outside, bring the slack out of the back, and chain up. Put that to the outside. Slide it over. Yeah, that looks about right. Take the excess link, slide that over the top. That up. Drop your lock over the top. You don't have that pigtail flopping around, and your chains are on nice and tight. Now the next thing you want to do is get your cam tightener tool. Start with the bottom cam. Chain's loose. It's much easier to do the low ones when the chain is loose. Come up here. Doesn't matter what order you do them in. And you probably won't be able to do them all, because we're already pretty darn tight right there. Last thing you do is put your bungees on. Always put the hook to the outside. Never chain to a cam tightener. And that should have you ready to go.